Hello, I'm Todd Anderson.
And I'm Kate Smith, and we are so excited to be talking to you about our capital campaign, A Faithful History, A Hopeful Future.
Today we're privileged to be in this amazing sanctuary, a place where over the course of nearly 100 years, baptisms have happened, worship services have happened, Holy Communion has happened in this place. Over this way is our education building, where young people and youth and adults have been ministered to throughout its entire life.
When I think about the faithful history, I think of the multiple generations that came before us here at Hyde Park and over the Rhine that left a legacy behind that we were entrusted with. And that is where we are looking towards a hopeful future to carry on that legacy for generations to come.
Our board, the Servant Leadership Board, and our congregation agreed in the church conference that we are one church in two locations. So we're talking about the Hyde Park campus and the Over the Rhine Community Campus. In April of 2025, in this very space, we commissioned a building committee to work on hearing and receiving all sorts of ideas.
One of the things that the building committee did was identify 4 areas that we wanted to prioritize: preservation, mission, accessibility, and energy efficiency. So each of the projects that we have chosen has to do with at least one of those 4 characteristics.
They took all of those proposals and narrowed them down to 14 projects that total about $10 million. And then in November of 2025, a presentation was made to the congregation to approve and vote on those proposals. And that passed by 95% of those who came and voted that evening. It was amazing.
Another exciting thing that happened at our November conference is the church voted at a 96 approval rate to utilize $2 million for our endowment for the capital campaign if the church pledges at least $4 million towards all the capital improvement projects. The reason being is because we are committed not to take a mortgage out for the projects that we are doing. We want to be good stewards of our money. So what this means is whatever money we have pledges for, that is the projects that we will do.
But what we're going to do is share with you the projects on each of the campuses individually. So this is the offending grease trap. This is where all of the wonderful sewer water comes into the refectory. Because the sewer and groundwater are not separated here in Cincinnati, when we get a big rain, one of the things that happens is the toilets in this bathroom flood and cause a terrible mess here. I've been in this room before where there's been as much as 1.5 inches of water throughout the entire room. So this will be one of the things that will be repaired when we do our preservation work, known as the Big Dig, which will encompass digging all the way around the foundation of the 1927 building, sealing up the foundation, tiling the foundation, moving groundwater away from the building, and the engineers tell us that this will solve our water mitigation problem. So welcome to the boiler room. Here we have 14 boilers that take care of our entire building, about 60,000 square feet. Hello? They'll be replaced with energy efficient boilers. The new boilers will lower our carbon footprint. They will have higher efficiency and will really be able to help us stay warm in the wintertime. You can see also as you look around this room that all of the window wells will be replaced because they're in very bad shape. We're in room 205 now. It's just one of the many rooms that we have around in the building that have century-old windows. So the plan is for these air conditioners to be removed, new windows to be installed, and new energy-efficient HVAC units that are known as mini-splits will be installed in each of these rooms. We're expecting a huge energy savings when we install new windows. So we're now in the sanctuary, the place where we worship every week. And in this place, as a part of our plan on preservation of our historic buildings, we're going to paint the sanctuary. The last time the sanctuary was painted was 1984, and a lot of our people in the church weren't even here in 1984. And we have the opportunity to preserve this building with a fresh coat of paint, some plaster repair work, because over the years the transepts have leaked. And our goal is to have all of that completed by our anniversary, where the sanctuary will be celebrated for 100 years of service in September of 2027. So we're in the covered cloister between the 1966 education building and the chapel. Over here to my left will be the location of the elevator tower, which will provide accessibility and security for our preschool. Security, because then we can close off the preschool from the rest of the building. And then, of course, accessibility, full accessibility on this side of the building with an elevator that can help families get around easier.
Welcome to the Over the Rhine neighborhood. We are here at our Over the Rhine campus that we call Grace on Race Street. And this used to be the former Nast Trinity United Methodist Church, started by William Nast in 1835. And this building was built and designed by Samuel Hannaford in 1880. And he is also the architect that designed Music Hall as well as City Hall. You might remember in 2012, the church at Hyde Park voted to be entrusted with this Nast Trinity Community Church because they were no longer able to be sustainable for themselves. And since 2012, we have started multiple new church starts. But then in 2024, what we decided to do was enter a discernment period to understand the needs of the community. And the three things that came up as most needed was first, affordable housing, second was a laundromat, and third was a space to build community. In 2003, the Nast Trinity community took the opportunity to purchase the building next door at 1314 Race Street. At the time, the building had been abandoned for decades, but the church had a vision that it could be used in the future. And we believe that that vision is taking place right now after we listened to the community for the 7 months. We learned that a community laundromat is needed because there's no laundromat at all downtown Cincinnati. So we worked with the Washing Well, which is in Lower Price Hill, and they showed us a model for an affordable laundromat for the whole community. And so our plan is on the first floor to build a laundromat that will have 16 washers and 16 dryers, and we hope to expand eventually to a wash and fold service. On the second and third floor, we plan to build 8 transitional housing units in partnership with our longtime partner, Found House Interfaith Housing Network. Priority 2 will take the second and third floor at 1314 Race Street and turn it into 8 transitional housing units. Priority 2 will also allow us to renovate the first floor space to prepare for the community laundromat. Priority 4 allows us to purchase the equipment for the 16 washers and dryers and everything that goes along to make the community laundromat function. Since October of 2024, there have been exciting new ministries that have started here at our Over the Rhine campus. The first was our first Saturday community breakfast, where we serve on average over 100 people from the neighborhood, and we invite people from Hyde Park to come down and enjoy a meal with their neighbors. We also have free yoga on Wednesday nights during the winter months in partnership with Project Yoga, as well as the Grace on Race Street Market, where we support budding entrepreneurs in their local artisan craft. We also hold Enneagram classes and workshops, as well as other spiritual classes and formation. With all the exciting ministries already happening, we are thrilled for when the community laundromat opens because we know it's even more of an opportunity to be in ministry with our neighbors. As they're waiting for their laundry, we have an opportunity to build relationship and offer new programs and ministry experiences. Yeah, so as you can hear, the oven is just now warming up and the combustion over on the other side of the room is still not even on yet. The noise takes away from building community in this space downstairs. So moving the kitchen into the addition opens up the space and reduces the noise. Priority 9 will take the restroom and kitchen from the church building, and we will create an addition on the back of the church to put the restrooms and kitchens back there to allow more space in the first floor gathering area. And then project 10, where I am standing, there will be an elevator which will connect both the church building and the laundromat and transitional housing units, with a courtyard in between for anyone to use and enjoy the great outdoors. And our final project at our Over the Rhine campus is number 13, which will clean and repair the stonework in the front of the church building. Our hope here at Grace on Race Street is that anyone who walks through these doors experiences a tangible form of God's love and grace, which is already happening here. But we know that with the Capital Campaign, we'll be able to take it to the next level by opening up a community laundromat and emergency shelter with Found House, where that tangible expression of love and grace will come in the form of basic needs met through emergency shelter, as well as access to clean clothes.
Last September, I preached a sermon that reminded us of the faithfulness of those who came before us 100 years ago. The prayer that we are praying and inviting you to pray along with us is, Lord, what will you have me do in this campaign? It's the kind of faithful legacy that was prayed a long time ago and will be prayed long into the future as we move into the next 100 years of this congregation's life. We will be remembered by those who come after us in the same way that we remember those who came before us.
You get a sneak peek today in your group about the Capital Campaign, but then on March 15th, we're launching it to the whole church in worship. It will be 5 Sundays that we will be sharing more about the Capital Campaign a variety of different ways and encouraging people to think about how God might use them for this campaign. And then April 19th is going to be our Commitment Sunday, where we ask people to make a 3-year pledge starting in May of 2026 to May of 2028 to fulfill all of our Capital Campaign projects. We are going to be so excited to celebrate with you on May 10th when we get to share the good news of all the money that we have pledged and raised for both campuses.
We're getting ready to celebrate 100 years of this church's existence on the corner, but the building downtown is older than this one. It was built in the 1880s.
And the thing is about preservation is we're not trying to create museums. We're trying to create living spaces that can go on for 100 years to come. I am so just thankful for everyone because it's so outwardly focused and not just what is it for us, but how do we always include other people who aren't here yet? And all of our mission projects has an eye to that, is not the people who are already here. How do we create space for people not here already to be part of our buildings and all of our ministries?
You can see on the graphic a list of all of our projects on what we call our thermometer as a way to think about all of these areas and how it is that we're going to be engaged during this 3-year Capital Campaign, where we're going to ask the question, Lord, what will you have me do?